Now, the rest of the story.
Well, I'm heading back to the truck. I'm down at the valley, and I haven't really shown you guys my sprayer yet, but I came down and I sprayed approximately 70 acres. Probably more with the Gator, the two 45-gallon tanks in the back, and a 32-foot swath. Something bit me. Boomless sprayer. Now, Brittany asked me, my wife, why I didn't just bring the tractor and the 3-point sprayer down. Well, for one, I sprayed this, what is today? Tuesday. I think I did it Friday and Saturday. So this is, what, 3 days from when I did it. And that right there is actually one of the paths I made with the Gator. I was driving fast. I could drive faster, which I was doing some of this about 8-9 miles an hour. I didn't like going over 10, just to make sure I was getting a good coverage. So I really just came down here for one tank. I've just loaded the Gator up in the back of the back of the trailer. I was gonna come down and do some spot spraying. I mean, the places that I knew in my head from last year that we're gonna need it the worst. And once I got down here, realized how dry it was down in the bottom. I ended up going through and spraying about 3/4 of the valley, of the bottom. And then I did that field over there, the field I'm in right here, and where else did I hit? Oh, over there, which isn't a really detailed description. But with the Gator being a lighter machine, it's not really leaving the big tracks through the field. If I use the 4640, bigger tracks, yes. Wider spread pattern, because that's a 42-foot pass. Yeah, something definitely bit me. The only thing is, basically, if I drove through here with the 46, the tracks wouldn't be going away by the time I cut this stuff. It is, what, the 18th of May? And it's probably going to be almost certainly the end of June, sometime in July. I'd like to have this whole place done the first half of July. Come through with about 30 gallons to the acre of 32, which is what that 3-point mounted sprayer and the 46 are really meant for. Give it the juice to produce a healthy second cut. Let it grow until the first half of September, like we did last year. Hopefully we won't have any smoke from any western fires this year. That really itches. And we'll be able to get the stuff dry. So I noticed that last year, everything that I didn't ted down here, because I only tedded about 2/3 of the place. Even with the heavy overcast, which kind of looked like this, the stuff that was tedded was drier going into the bale. The stuff that we just laid out flat, because we thought it was too light, that it wasn't going to be worth tedding. Well, we proved ourselves wrong, and I was regretting fighting getting the last 2 days of hay made. I mean, we should have had this done in 3 days of decent running, and it just didn't happen. But what we're looking at right now, I came down here with 200 pounds the acre of dry urea, AMS, and you can see, you can't see from here, everything's backwards here. I didn't bring my GoPro, this is my camera. You can just hardly see it right there. You can see where you got that dark strip of grass going that way. But if you get, I can't do this, up over the hill where it's lighter, that's where the dry fertilizer didn't hit. And the reason I went with dry fertilizer early in the spring, I like this program, is it has plenty of moisture in southwest Wisconsin to make sure that it's going to break down, get into the soil, get into the roots, and it very much shows on this place. I mean, the dandelions and all the broadleaves are dropping over really good, so I'm happy for that. The rest of this stuff, because I'm going to have some bare spots here. I mean, it's not going to be super heavy there, but I'm actually leaving all this grass to head out, so it'll kind of help reseed this place. And I'm hoping, I hate swearing like that, it's going to save me from having to come down and throw any more seed on this place, because I haven't had to seed anything over there. And I'm hoping that those bare spots will kind of fill in as we run down here. So I'll be down here for years yet. And as you can see, oh, right there. See over my left shoulder where there's the yellow spot, and there's a distinct line going across the top of the hill. And then down, of course, which I made some tracks down the hill from the spreader pushing me down the hill because it was a little soft yet. Very clear, if I get a little bit farther, you can see, very clear where the dry fertilizer hit. The grass, I about guarantee you, that's the second year that's actually gotten fertilizer, because I spread on it last year too. And huge difference from what got fertilized and what didn't. There's people, old timers, not all old timers, I'm not lumping you all into a big group. There's some people that say it's grass. It's grass. I mean, it'll grow. I mean, it doesn't need fertilizer. Why waste the money? Well, you can almost see to the ground on that light stuff. Almost. Not completely, but we're getting there. And imagine what that would yield if the whole farm yielded like that. I mean, there's plenty of ground down here, and I'm going for quantity plus quality. Quantity first and then quality. Second cut is definitely for quality, because let's face it, just because I make first cut and it's nice quality, cut perfect, you know, it didn't head out or anything else like that, it's quality first cut. All I gotta say, at least in this area, is that it's first cut, and it's gonna be priced like first cut, no matter how nice it looks. So I'd rather get the quantity. I mean, it's gonna be priced the same regardless. So even if it is overripe, let it. And I'm hoping, I hate swearing like that, the way this stuff is looking, and we got another 45 days approximately before I plan on making it. The weeds aren't nearly as heavy as they were last year, because I actually got down here and sprayed them. So another 45 days, these fence lines, the fields, all those weeds are going to be pretty well, hopefully flat on the ground. And my first cut hay is really going to amount to something. It would be awesome if my first cut actually filled up all my storage, right? That would be pretty neat. Problem is, and I'd have to get a little bit creative for second cut, because say if I save it for September, you're still looking yet what, another 45 days if I get it made the first half of September. Come on, dude. And here you guys can see that clear as day, can't you? Tracks up the hill from me, from me sliding down it. I mean, those tracks are actually from the tires slipping in the tractor, because it was what, April? I mean, but it wasn't quite dry enough yet. I got a little courageous, and it pushed me down the hill. I did seed it. There's grass growing back. I mean, it was bare, but it's growing back. But I think that makes a really good argument for getting your fertilizer on, because that stuff is significantly taller than the lighter green stuff. Some people don't care. Some people, they want to make, if they're hobby farmers or whatever else, or if they only are really making one cut and they're gonna let the cows out into it, it doesn't matter. But really not that big on making hay growing up. Growing up, I didn't mind it. When I was milking, wasn't a fan of it. But when you're making a crop to potentially market, it makes it a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun to manage. I do like cattle. I mean, that's why I got my beef cows. But they aren't going to eat everything that's produced down here. So it just makes sense to do my best to, what do we got? Oh, thought the range gauge was working. It's upside down. That's a landlord, so I'm not going to mess with it. But I think we had about a ½ inch today. Everything that is seated over behind you has officially gotten a drink now, so I'm hoping with the 70 and 80 degree weather days that are coming up, the performance of that coon drill, getting that seed in the ground right where it needs to be, I'm hoping that new seeding takes off, so at least I'll get some of the usage out of it for at least my second cut. And this is, oh, it's raining again. This is officially all I have left for cow feed, plus 5 bales at home. So I'll feed that out to the cows, and we'll be looking for new crop. But that's kind of the hay update. I know I'm actually out of practice here. I need to start filming a little bit more again, right? So, come on. You can tell Calvin's just a little tired of riding in the back of the truck. The truck's dirty too. That's left over from planting. So with that, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Quick look at what the field looks like out there. Did knock out a bunch of the grass that was coming up when we seeded it, but believe it or not, over half of it, well over half of it, is actually making a comeback, because I only sprayed for the clover, and where you walk through the fields where it was basically all clover, it's completely bare. I seeded some of those areas twice when I was down here. I mean, it just made sense. I wanted to make certain that something was growing there, so it got a double seeding. But as far as that stuff goes, the grass will come back, and the spots where the clover was completely gone, it smelled like dry first cut hay ready to be put up in the bale. So, well, I gotta go, so talk to you later.